along with your recordings even if we are not 100% pure yet?
You mean you're not singing along with the recording? I just went over that.
Question from Pipa. What about Pitraloka, ancestor planet?
Oh boy. This is getting into, this is like areas that we don't really need to know about. Why are you interested in Pitraloka? Krishna says the people who worship the demigods and the forefathers and like that are an illusion. This isn't transcendental. It's a subtle material world. Pitraloka is part of the material world. And most of the people listening to this don't even know what Pitraloka is, and I don't want to confuse them, so I don't want to get into this.
Question from Krishna Prapti. What about the New Age idea we can find our soulmates? Sounds like another case of mistaken identity.
You better believe it. The soulmate that we're looking for is Krishna. He's the only real soulmate. Everybody else in this material world is in a false identity. This, body, this false personality, this false identity. I'm Joe Schmo from Kokomo, I mean, it's all phony. Why do I say it's phony? Okay, the technical explanation is that it's temporary. And in the Bhagavad-gītā 2:16, I think it is, Krishna says that which is temporary doesn't really exist, or its existence is only conditional. The things that really exist are those which are eternal. And what is there about me that is eternal? Only my soul, only myself, my consciousness. Not this body, not this mind, not this name, not this family, not this country, not this identity, not this relationship. None of these things are permanent. They all have a beginning and an end. One of the things that, Neo says in the Matrix, that which has a beginning always has an end. In other words, he's choosing to be of service, knowing that this body is going to be finished. But we make the same choice. We choose to give service. Not that we're looking for fulfillment in this material world. That's unrealistic. We talked about that earlier. You're not going to find your soulmate in this material world. That is it's a whole act, Oh, I'm your soulmate. Oh, yes. This is the perfect relationship. Oh, yes. Oh, I would see this on the West Coast and in Hawaii so much. I mean, people just fooling themselves and fooling other people. And just this whole just phony nonsense thing constructed on wish fulfillment. I mean, it's so Walt Disney. When you wish upon a star, I mean, it's really like childish, it's foolish. No, this material world is Martya Loka. It's a place of death where suffering takes place. Try to understand. This is not a place to come and enjoy. And if you enjoy in this material world, you simply are creating suffering for yourself later on. Everything balances out. Nothing can remain unbalanced. So if you get some enjoyment now, it means suffering later. On the other hand, if you perform austerities now, then you get supreme enjoyment later on. So take the path of austerity, take the path of purity, gain transcendental knowledge, do the work and get the result. Don't put it off. Some people think, oh, I'll enjoy now, but then when I'm old, I'll do spiritual processes and meditate and stuff like that. But guess what? It's not going to happen. You're going to get old and then because you enjoyed so much now in your youth, then in your old age you're going to suffer from so many diseases, you're going to become feeble, you're going to start forgetting stuff, have your senior moments and all that, and then you're going to wind up like every other old bag and just be useless, and people will throw you in a corner somewhere, some old age home or something like that, and that's going to be the end of you. But if you take this youth and you invest it in making spiritual advancement, then in old age you're going to be alert, you're going to be energetic, you're going to be full of knowledge and wisdom and realization, full of spiritual pleasure as the sense pressure drops away and you don't feel any more urge for sense gratification. You're going to become so pure, everybody's going to want to associate with you, you're going to get followers, you're going to be revered as a wise man, as a guru. I mean, it's so much better way to end your days, even from a material point of view. What to speak of the actual spiritual benefits which are eternal. So invest your youth, your energy, your strength. That's what I did. When I was 27, I walked away from a very nice gig, very secure material situation, a beautiful girlfriend from the West Indies, and I went into the temple and I started serving my spiritual master, and I spent 10 or 12 years traveling around the world, mostly in India, serving him. And then I went into householder life for a while, but I quickly got over that. And then I went and I attained self-realization. And now I can teach this science, and I'm having a blast. I'm happier than I've ever been in any time in my life, Even when I had all this stuff and I had all this sense gratification, and I still wasn't as happy as I am today. So that's my experience, and I want to advise you to take a similar path. Invest your youth and your strength while you're still young and flexible and can change and learn easier, to adopt this spiritual way of life. And then when you get to be older, you will have built up all these habits of right living. You'll have tons of good karma, and you'll be able to have a peaceful, happy old age. That's my advice to all you young whippersnappers. Okay, any more questions?
Yes.
Oh boy.
Next question from Tom. Are there people of different intelligence and talents in the spiritual world that use their unique abilities in devotional service, or is there greater equality?
Everybody's different. In fact, there's more variety in the spiritual world than in the material world. Even though everyone, their focus and their primary relationship is with Kṛṣṇa, because we're all individuals, our relationship with Kṛṣṇa is unique. Everyone, Kṛṣṇa, try to get the idea, Kṛṣṇa creates each and every one of us for some specific purpose of his own. He has some desire that he wants to satisfy. And so he creates each and every one of us slightly different, so that he can satisfy all of his desires, which are, everything you can imagine and a whole bunch more that you can't. So that's Kṛṣṇa. He likes variety, just like everybody. Variety is the spice of life. That's the saying. So Kṛṣṇa's taste for variety is unlimited. Therefore, every spirit soul, every living entity has a unique desire, a unique talent, and a unique service that they render to the Lord for his pleasure. Mm-hmm.
Question from Luciano. Where is the middle point of taking care of oneself and making sure one makes it out of material life in comparison of helping other jivas?
Oh, first you help yourself, then you can help others. The person fallen in the material life is compared to someone who has fallen into a well. You know, out in the country, sometimes they dig a well, which is just basically a big hole in the ground, and they don't bother to put up any well house or anything like that around it. So if the grass grows up, you can be walking along and suddenly just fall into a well. And you can't get out because the walls are straight up and down. So unless somebody comes along and helps you out, well, you're stuck. So that's the way it is when you're in the material world. Unless you get the help of an esoteric school and a master, you can't get out. You can't get out by yourself. So first of all, you have to play an active role in your school. You have to render service to the spiritual master and make inquiries to the spiritual master. Practice the instructions that you're given and get out. Get out of the entanglement.